In the mystical realm of Camelot, where legends breathe and dreams walk the earth, there lived a king unlike any other, Arthur Pendragon. His story is one woven from the threads of magic, courage, and destiny. Our tale begins on a crisp autumn morning as the mist clung to the rolling hills of Camelot. The kingdom was alive with anticipation, for today was no ordinary day. It was the day of the grand tournament, where knights from across the lands would compete for honor and glory. In the heart of the kingdom stood the majestic Camelot castle, with towers that touched the sky and walls as strong as the resolve of the king who dwelled within. King Arthur, young yet wise beyond his years, watched from his balcony as the kingdom stirred to life. Beside him stood Merlin, the enigmatic wizard, his eyes twinkling with secrets yet untold. "Today marks a new chapter, Arthur," Merlin said, his voice like the rustling of ancient scrolls. "For the wheels of fate are turning, and your destiny awaits." Arthur gazed across his kingdom, a sense of responsibility weighing upon his shoulders. He had been king since the day he pulled the enchanted sword Excalibur from the stone, a feat that proclaimed him the rightful ruler of Camelot. But he knew that being king was more than wearing a crown. It was about serving his people with justice and compassion. As the tournament commenced, the air was filled with the sounds of clashing swords and cheering crowds. Knights in shining armor battled with skill and valor, each seeking to prove their worth. Among the competitors was Sir Lancelot, the bravest of the Knights of the Round Table, and Sir Gawain, known for his unwavering honor. As the sun reached its zenith, a hush fell over the crowd. A mysterious knight, clad in armor that gleamed like the night sky, entered the lists. His presence was commanding, and his skill with the sword was unmatched. This knight, unknown to all, quickly became the talk of the tournament. Meanwhile, deep in the forest that bordered Camelot, a different story was unfolding. A young maiden, with hair as golden as the sun and eyes like the clearest of skies, wandered through the woods. She was Guinevere, the daughter of King Leodegrance, and she was on a quest of her own. Guinevere had heard tales of the legendary King Arthur and his noble court. She yearned to see the kingdom where justice and chivalry flourished. As she journeyed, she stumbled upon a clearing where the most extraordinary sight awaited her, a magical lake that shimmered with an ethereal light. From the depths of the lake, a hand emerged, holding aloft a sword of unparalleled craftsmanship. It was the Lady of the Lake, guardian of Excalibur's sister sword, destined for a warrior of true heart. Guinevere approached, her heart pounding with a mix of fear and awe. Back at the tournament, the mysterious knight triumphed over all. As he knelt before King Arthur, he removed his helmet, revealing himself to be none other than Sir Percival, a noble knight who had been on a quest to seek the Holy Grail. His return marked a time of great rejoicing, for he brought with him tales of adventures and trials that tested the very essence of his spirit. As the day drew to a close, a grand feast was held in the castle. Minstrels played melodies that echoed through the halls, and stories of heroism and valor were shared. It was during this celebration that Guinevere arrived at Camelot, bearing the sword gifted by the Lady of the Lake. Her arrival at the court caused a stir, for her beauty was like that of a blooming rose, and her grace was evident in her every move. King Arthur, struck by her presence, welcomed her with the honor befitting a princess. Little did they know, this meeting was the beginning of a love story that would be told for centuries to come, a love that would become as legendary as the king himself. As night fell over Camelot, Merlin stood in the shadows, his eyes reflecting the stars above. He knew that the arrival of Guinevere and the return of Sir Percival were but pieces of a larger tapestry, one that he and Arthur would weave together. For every tale of magic and might, there lies a deeper truth, Merlin whispered to the knight. And this, my king, is your truth to find. In the days that followed, Camelot was abuzz with the arrival of Princess Guinevere. Her presence brought a new light to the court, and her wisdom and kindness quickly earned her the affection of all. King Arthur found himself increasingly drawn to her, sensing a kindred spirit. Meanwhile, Sir Percival shared tales of his quest for the Holy Grail. His journey had taken him through realms both wondrous and perilous, teaching him lessons about faith, sacrifice, and the true nature of nobility. His return was seen as an omen of good fortune, a sign that Camelot would continue to flourish under King Arthur's rule. However, peace in Camelot was not to last. Dark clouds gathered on the horizon, both literally and metaphorically. A new challenge was brewing, one that would test the very foundations of Arthur's kingdom. A distant land, ruled by the enigmatic King Lot, began to show signs of unrest. King Lot, once an ally, had grown envious of Arthur's prosperous reign and sought to claim Camelot for himself. Rumors of an impending invasion began to spread, and tension filled the air. Arthur, ever the just ruler, sought to resolve the conflict without bloodshed. He sent envoys to King Lot, offering peace and friendship. But King Lot, blinded by his ambition, refused all overtures, declaring that the time for words had passed. As war loomed, Arthur gathered his knights. The Round Table, a symbol of equality and unity, saw its members pledge their swords and their lives to the defense of Camelot. Among them were Sir Lancelot, Sir Gawain, and Sir Percival, each ready to face the coming storm. Guinevere, though worried, showed great courage. She worked alongside the ladies of the court to prepare for the hardships ahead. Her strength and resolve inspired all, and her counsel proved invaluable to Arthur. The day of battle arrived, and the fields outside Camelot echoed with the clash of steel. The knights of Camelot, shining in their armor, charged bravely into battle, their loyalty to their king unyielding. Amidst the chaos, Arthur fought with the might of 10 men. Excalibur, gleaming in his hand, seemed to blaze with its own light. Yet, even as he fought, Arthur sought to spare lives, remembering the lessons of the heart of the forest, that true strength lay in mercy and justice. The battle raged from dawn until dusk, a dance of steel and valor that would be sung of for generations. In the end, King Lot's forces were overwhelmed, not just by the might of Camelot's knights, but by their unity and their unwavering belief in the cause of peace and justice. In the aftermath, as the sun set on a battlefield strewn with the echoes of war, King Arthur extended an olive branch to the defeated King Lot. Instead of vengeance, he offered forgiveness and peace, hoping to heal the rift between their lands. King Lot, humbled and moved by Arthur's magnanimity, accepted the offer. The two kings forged a new alliance, one based on mutual respect and the shared desire for peace. With the threat averted, Camelot returned to a time of peace. The kingdom prospered, and the love between Arthur and Guinevere blossomed. They were wed in a grand ceremony, celebrated by all the lands, a union that symbolized hope and a bright future. But as Merlin had foretold, the wheels of fate were ever turning. The story of King Arthur, Queen Guinevere, and the Knights of the Round Table was far from over. There were still adventures to be had, challenges to be met, and lessons to be learned. In the tapestry of time, their story was but a single thread, yet it was one that would shine brightly through the ages, a beacon of courage, honor, and the enduring power of love.